Whenever I'm looking for a new game, I will consider bundles as well. You'll occasionally find, one or two in a bundle that you really want. And if you're like me, you'll go, well, the cost of the games, if I bought them individually, is equal to or higher than the bundle cost, so I may as well get it and get some things that I wouldn't have otherwise got. This is how I stumbled upon quite a few of the games I've covered on this channel. The most recent one that really comes to mind is, I think, Night Taxi, it was called, which was like a detective noir thing where you're a taxi driver trying to figure out who tried to kill you. Weird concept, but it works. And the most of the game is picking up passengers and ferrying them round. Now, you'll have seen the title of this video and gone, Neo Cab, sounds like a taxi. And this is a very similar game indeed. Neo Cab was brought to us by Chance Agency and published by Fellow Traveller. And you play Lena Romero, who is about to move to an LA stand-in to go and live with her friend who she hasn't seen for a while. But she's basically an Uber driver, but the company's called Neo Cab. And they're in competition with an autonomous vehicle service, well, a company that runs a lot of things, including an automated vehicle service called Capra. There are groups in there, it's very sort of cyberpunky, there are groups of people who are against all of this tech-leaning thing, and there are groups of people who just embrace it. There are people who basically do what humans tend to do now. I recently found out that in the UK, the donor service had changed from opt-in to opt-out. Now I have a donor card, but there's a psychological study that said if a choice is really difficult, people will go for the default option, apparently. So they were finding that people just weren't opting in. So to have it as opt-out instead, it means that donor numbers are better. Is that right or wrong? I'm not going to debate that here. But in the world of Neo Cab, there are people in that middle ground. That's why I mention it. Who are just like, well, if technology is carrying on like this, the default option's getting the AVs, the autonomous vehicles, so I'll do that. But it leaves people in this kind of gig economy world that Lena inhabits in a very difficult position. The people who really fear technology are going proper old school and riding bikes. The people who embrace technology like it's, the next best thing are just not choosing the neocabs. They don't need that human interaction. So it's a very hard world. Also, your ratings aren't based on your entire career, although I think this is a gaming gimmick to encourage you to play better. They're based on recent interactions. So if you get a 1 star during a night, that can really floor your score down to 2, 3. And you've got to work hard to get that back up because you get a couple of warnings and then you're terminated. Now, luckily, when I played tactically and cleverly and did not get fired. I also made sure I didn't run out of money or battery power for my car because, of course, it's electric cars. But on the first night you arrive, your friend who is meant to be helping you set up in the city, he's got a room for you and everything like that, Savvy, she just disappears. You have one message left and you go and find that her phone's smashed on the ground with a logo for one of these anti-tech groups. So the game consists of you picking up various passengers and, sort of prodding ones for information where you think there might be something you can use. And like with Night Taxi, you get this weird understanding of people in this world. You build some weird connections. There's a guy who's basically running a cult of the pain worm because existence is suffering. It's very Schopenhauer, if I remember correctly. But he's also, you can sort of teach him down the line, and I did, that maybe all emotions can be valid. Just because the pain worm likes negative emotions, maybe if you have a moment of happiness, you're just giving him a break between meals, You can sort of look at it in these different ways. There's, vast array of different people. There's a security guard who throws up in your car and then completely denies it. Bit of a douche. There's a guy who has apparently come out of prison and he's going to start a cookie company, and, you're really nice to him and everything like that. And then you find out that, no, he's just a grifter. He cons people left, right and centre. And you can basically get him to give you hundreds of coin, which is the cryptocurrency of the game. Then you've also got one of my favourite characters in the entire game, Una, who is a quantum witch, basically. That's the only way to describe her, and the game wants you to lean that way and refer to her that. She deals with sort of quantum reality's superposition. She's all about. She loves the idea of entropy and chaos, but she loves it in the sense of, because that means that she can't predict it as easily. Entropy and chaos is, just wild and random. That's what the universe wants to be, and we try and put meaning to it. So to give her a reprieve, she likes to, say, you choose what direction we're going to this particular location. She wants to go to a casino to just watch people gamble, because gambling is chaos, it's random, it could be any number of different possibilities. But her job involves, using these quantum superposition kind of ideas and statistics to break encryption. So later on, when you find out that your friend Savvy is actually a weird double agent inside this evil corporation, and she gave you this mood ring for the whatever century this is. It's called a field grid, and it goes on the wrist, and it shows, or there are necklace versions and everything like that, but it shows what your emotional state is. It's also an in-game mechanic, so that if you, if Lena's getting irate, you might not be able to do certain interactions, and it just enables that mechanic. But in universe, it's a way of showing this is how people are feeling, and you can use that to your advantage as well. But she put files in there that you then need to get Una to decrypt, and you can then choose, do you just throw away the data? Do you just say, look, this was a bad move, I shouldn't have moved here, let's just move on with my life? Do you help Savvy out? Do you bring this company down? Because they're trying to pass a law that effectively would mean that the only vehicles allowed on the streets would be their vehicles. Because apparently this girl, Sophie Lemieux, got hit by a real car, and therefore their autonomous vehicles must be safer. But this was all a ploy. This was all a clever way of trying to pass a law so that they could move the small competition really they had completely out of the way, widening the market completely open for them and them only. And you can bring that down, and I'm like, at the end of the day, this is Lena's livelihood. She hates Capra, so she would do that. I justified it in my head. And I know there are multiple endings, but I've said in a lot of games, I don't need to play multiple endings. I'm effectively doing Una proud in a way here, but, well, no, actually, I think I'm going against Una's wishes, because I'm choosing one path. This is the life that Lena has led, that I've been in control of. This is the path. If I do multiple versions, maybe there's a little in-joke, I don't know, but I don't feel the need. I feel that I get my money's worth, if you will, for that complete story. But like I say, there's various different avenues you could take. You could never really, go on the hunt for Savvy. I'm sure there's that option. You could, follow different paths down, different people to do different things. You could choose to throw the data away, etc. It is very much, your choice. And like I say, it's not something I would have necessarily gone and bought outright myself. But damn, did I enjoy the experience. It was so well written. I actually found myself going, I need to get through this, I need to know how this ends. And that's when I know that the game's got me. And it's not too long. If you just, go through and just do what you need to get the story moving, it's 3 hours, maybe. So it's not a massive investment of time. It's nice and it's tightly written in that way. Like I say, I don't know if you can just go on for night after night after night if you just want to boost your income first and then look for Savvy. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what your different outcomes have been, how you've played if you have. And if you haven't, go out. I've given you a lot of the story, but I always say at the start of the video, spoilers ahead. Give it a go, enjoy it, make your own destiny, if that's really a thing. But until next time, thank you for watching, and as always, take care.